Hey, and welcome to the first episode of Crypto Flip. I'm here with my brothers Deji and Rick, and we're going to get straight into it with some reactions to some confessions regarding crypto. So, the first one, I sold my car to go all in on a coin at the start of 2022. I now walk to work. That's just sad, man. That is sad. Imagine, yeah.
Obviously,
Like,
obviously, the sentiment makes sense, right?
it
Like,
does, but
I believe in this thing,
he's risking more than he has. Clearly,
clearly.
clearly. Like, I'm just imagining my brother saying, "Yo, he's got a car, he's got a whip," and he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I come back home and I'm like, "Yo, what happened to the car, man? Let me take that." It's like, "Nah, man, can't do that." So why? So you don't wanna know. You don't wanna know. It's gone. It's gone.
5 minutes later, he's like, "Have you heard of Dogecoin?"
See,
Oh my days.
the funny thing here is, yeah, is that you need this car,
Mm.
and then you heard from a brother of a brother that told you, I don't know, AVAC's about to jump off the roof or BNB is about to go a little mad thing. For you to sell your car that you need to make money, to make earn income, and then you invest that into crypto, man, that's
You, you,
you don't do that. It's just you don't do that. Just don't do that.
you know what it is? I think sometimes as well, people, and I've been guilty of this, not to this extent, but when you start seeing the news stories of like 8-year-olds making 100 million, obviously that's a slight exaggeration, but you know what I'm talking about. All of these
It's
exaggerated,
not. That's not exaggeration. It's
yeah,
not exaggeration, bro.
true,
It's
true,
not
true, true,
exaggeration.
true.
No.
Like all these young guys, and they're making tens of millions in like just catching a pump of some stupid NFT or the next meme coin, and then you're like, "Rah, why can't that be me?" So let me just take this little 10,000, sell this car, just count. It's gonna work. Worst case, maybe I break even, and then next thing you know, you're walking to work. So it can get a bit peaky.
There's it's Pete, but there's a flip side to this as well because obviously, I remember that years ago I bought this BMW and it was 10 grand, and at the same time I was buying ETH, and I think I told Harris the story at the time, but like when at this point ETH was like $5 or $6. And every day I look back, I'm like, yo, if I spend that 10 grand on ETH, I didn't even have that car anymore, bro. This is like 6 years ago. Like, if I spent that 10 grand on ETH, my life would be different.
True, but that's
I,
the
I, I
Now
that's
hate
the
you. I hate you, Rick. I hate you, Rick. I hate you, Rick. Like everyone can relate to that story where like if I didn't buy that thing, if I just put that money on this, it would have been better. So we can all relate to this guy's crazy
but
story.
you
But
can't think like that
my
though.
thing is, yeah, no, I know you can't. But my thing is, yeah, you sold your car that you need to get to work, that you work from home. Yeah,
Yeah.
you sold your car to buy a token at the top. Like, come on, I just can't feel no sympathy because it was a stupid decision, and then you deserve what you got, man. It's just maybe you hopefully you learn from it, or you hope he or she learns from it. That's all I can say, man.
Yeah, I mean, he became someone's exit liquidity, and it is what it is. But for me, like, just going back to Rick's point quickly, you can't really look at a situation like the one you described because that's survivor bias. Because if it ETH, so you're only saying that
Yeah,
because ETH turned out well. If ETH failed,
yeah,
then you'll be like,
exactly.
thank God I didn't. So it
Mm,
can go both ways. It can
I
go
hear
both
that.
ways. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. So the next one is sold 80% of my holdings near the peak for 2.5 million UST and put into Anchor for that sweet APY. Held Bitcoin for over sweet
Like,
APY. Okay, so held Bitcoin for over 7 years. Sold 80% of my holdings near the peak for 2.5 million UST and put into Anchor for that sweet APY. But thanks to Don Quan, they are now around 10k USD worth. My remaining bag is never going to leave my treasure again. Only selling whenever I need a bit of cash liquidity. I could have been rich. My friend, I think you're broke now. Um,
So that 3.5 mil went to 10 grand.
yeah, but is US T even trading
Um,
right now? think it's delisted everyone, no?
I'm not even sure.
What Anchor?
No,
UST.
UST.
Anchor. Oh, UST. No, UST is listed. It's
Yeah,
useless.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's zero. It's zero. So he went from 2.5
Zero.
million
So I don't know what
to
you're talking
zero
about.
because
Wow.
obviously I don't. When this was published recently, but we don't know when it was written. So I can only assume it was
Yeah.
probably written closer to the
Yeah.
time when things started to go crazy. But
Yeah.
imagine
Wow.
you got 2.5 mil in the bank cash, or in crypto, but equivalent of cash, and it's just fallen to zero. The emotions. You're like in your mind. I know if it was me as well, because I like to think forward as well. I'm like, okay, cool. I got this. I could flip this. I can do that. Maybe I can, do a little bit of something here. And the next time I look back, it's just vaporware. It's gone. I don't know how I'd handle that, to be honest. That's crazy.
That's wild. I'd probably. Nah, that's wild. I don't even know how. I don't know how to deal with that. At the end of the day, all you can do is say, well, at least I can live my regular life. I don't know. I don't know. But there's always going to be like a what if, like, oh, what if I didn't buy that? You know the ones that keep you up at night. You're there tossing and turning. You're like, yeah, I don't know, man. That's crazy. But yeah, stable
In
coin.
hindsight, yeah.
Go on.
Like honestly, I feel like when you make that kind of money, and obviously I don't know what you started with. Maybe you started with I don't know 20K or 30K, and you grow that fund to 2.5 mil. It's only greed that lets you think, yeah, I can scalp more, I can farm more. What you should have done, obviously, hindsight is like you know what I mean. It's 2020, but at the end of the day, you should have taken at least half of that and turned it to actual cash. I'm not talking about stables because we all know there's certain issues with stables that sometimes they lose their pegging. Like you never know what happened. What you want to do is you want to realize that into cash and maybe leave half of that 2.5 in there to just I don't know maybe grow it back to I don't know 10 mil or something. It's sad, but obviously though Quantum's the real villain in this story. I don't know. I feel bad for my man. I hope he's not trying to obviously hurt himself because of this what happened to him, but yeah, man, he messed up big time, and then I hope he can come back from this and learn from it and obviously come back harder. So
But you know what? There is a silver lining here. And that's it. I always say in crypto, there's always another opportunity. So even though, and as mad as it sounds, even though he went from whatever he started from, probably in the tens of thousands to 2.5 mil, down to zero, he can actually make that back and probably some in the next bull run if he's smart about what he does in the bear market. So all is not
well said,
lost,
well
but
said.
as long as he keeps his head up and looks for new opportunities, he can definitely get back. I'll move on to the next one. So the last one we got for today is I got FOMO from Luna because everyone said it would go to 1,000. Used to be a Luna Maxi. Oof, glad that was never one. Sold everything at $30 right before a huge pump to over $100 to buy overpriced metaverse coins at all-time high. Portfolio went from 30k down to 15k. I got FOMO from Luna because everyone said it would go to 1,000, so I aped in big again, and it did not end too well. Now I'm in NFTs and it's even worse.
Bro, this guy's a professional gambler. Bro, this isn't an investment, but that's a gamble, bro. That's an utter gamble. It's like man went to a casino
Yeah,
with 10
I
bags.
said roll the
He
dice.
literally, and it went to 30, and then he's like, he sees bare people over there on the blackjack table. He's like, yeah, 21, 20. Come on, bro, it's all gambling. Like, there's like no knowledge. Everyone said it's going to a grand. Bro, if everyone said jump off a bridge tomorrow, you're gonna jump off a bridge. Like, that's crazy.
like Rick said, yeah, that some people don't know what they're doing in crypto. I think they hear, oh, this is gonna blow up, this is gonna blow up. Hold it, diamond hand, paper hand, whatever that thing is that they do. It's all BS, man. Honestly, when you make money in crypto, and I don't know, man, I don't care if you're starting from $100 or $20, and you go from that to like you achieve 10,000% portfolio gain, dude. Just take your money and run. Exit the market, exit into stables or something. Don't try to like outsmart the market, trying to like, oh, I got another no brain investment. That's how you do some money, and that's actually gambling, not investment.
Yeah, I think one thing that people forget to do, especially in the bull market, because obviously there's a lot of big gains to be had there, and it kind of touches on what we were mentioning earlier, in that you can make money, but then if you're looking over somewhere else, you're like, oh, but what if I put it there and I would have got 100x or 10x or whatever. That type of mentality can warp your mind, but you know if you don't take profits, then obviously none of it's realized. So, yeah, I think one of the big learning curves for I think everyone is to always take profits along the way. Um, yeah, and obviously you can leave a moon bag, but taking profits is definitely important.
It's
So,
essential, man. It's essential. Like literally, it's all paper money until you literally take some profit and realize that game. All paper profit, man.
exactly, exactly. So, speaking of taking profits and bull markets and bear markets, we are obviously in the bear market. So, I want to know how you guys are surviving the bear market. What are you guys doing right now? You looking at new opportunities? Are you just holding off? Like, talk to us about what your approach is right now.
Personally, honestly, I'm still buying. Basically, I'm going with the whole idea of like dollar cost averaging, like a couple here every week in things that I have utmost confidence in. And by things, I don't mean like, 8 bulk chat GPT coin. Like I'm in on like Bitcoin, like weekly buys of Bitcoin, automated on whatever platform you use. And yeah, if things switch, like I don't know, Bitcoin's at what, 29K dollars right now. If things switch and things start going up, then I tend to just follow the trend. I might think, oh, let me try and buy something now. Like not something that's gone crazy. Like obviously I'm not gonna buy, like Avalanche if it triples in price tomorrow. Like if I see it going up 10%, I might be like, oh, let me take a punt. But yeah, basically dollar cost averaging on Bitcoin or Ethereum really, and keeping an eye on the market.
That's a good one actually. That's a sound strategy. For me personally, it's been a slow grind in this bear market. Um, trying to last the last bull market was great, but I feel like this next bull run is going to be even more tremendous with a lot of like factors in. I think obviously we have the halving coming up soon, so I think BTC back to Amanda. So mostly I've just been buying up BTC. I haven't even been looking at Ethereum too much because I just assumed like I would get to eventually, but mostly my portfolio is heavily skewed towards BTC at the moment. 40% stable coin, and then a little bit altcoin, and then obviously in the altcoins I put ETH in there as well because ETH is still an altcoin to me, even though it is head and shoulder far better than other altcoins. So yeah, just DCing every other week, every other month into BTC because it's the only thing I have the utmost trust in. It's literally the main store of value in crypto. So just been buying that as much as I can, and obviously and then the other little odds here and there I buy into it. Especially like one of my favorite odds I like buying into is dot. I think dot is extremely undervalued at the moment, and I think in the next bull run it will definitely probably do a madness. But we'll talk about that later on in the next topic. But my strategy just being just have that cash ready to deploy. Once you see that red sea of blood on the market, just buy up as much Bitcoin as you can, as much ETH as you can. That is my personal strategy.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. I think everyone's strategy is going to be slightly different depending on where they're at with their portfolio. Obviously, if you're a whale, then you're inclined to take less risks, etc. If you're starting out, maybe you can take a bit more risks. For me personally, though, what I'm looking at hidden gems. Sort of, so I've got three buckets that I want to fulfill. Some are like ETH and BTC, so that's like sort of the bread and butter, as I like to call it. Then I have like infrastructure plays, so like layer ones, some layer twos, which are established, but they can maybe do like a 10x in the next bull run. And then they're sort of hidden gems, which again I said that we'll be looking at towards the end of the show. But yeah, these are like really new projects that have a lot of potential. Obviously, high risk, high reward. I found some in the last bull market, sorry, in the last bear market, which really did well in the last bull market. And the only problem was I didn't buy enough. And yeah, I'm kind of looking for those similar types of projects because I think that this will probably be the last proper bull market. Um, when I say proper bull market,
I agree with you completely, Aris. I agree with you completely.
why
And
do you say that?
yeah, the reason being is because I feel like we've experienced a lot of bull market. I think at regular interval, and I feel like once, I think this next bull market we'll really see BTC hit like six figures, and I think once you get to that level, and then with the supply of BTC going down, there's just not that much BTC left in circulation. So the next bull market, quote unquote, let's say I don't know, the following on after this one in 2024, I think you won't see as explosive gains as we've seen in the past, like compared to 2012, 2018, and 2022. So I think this bull run we're about to experience probably the last main one we're gonna get that will literally be worth your time and worth your the risk that you have to take.
Yeah, yeah. I think also if you look at it from just a market cap perspective, right now, were we like 1 trillion, 1.2 trillion, something like that in total market cap? Like, let's say 10x is that's 10 trillion. Like, how big can the overall crypto market get? That's the question that I'm asking.
100 the prediction is it can go up to 100 trillion, but I think that will take a global adoption for it to get to 100 trillion.
Mm.
So 10 trillion is more achievable, it's more feasible. So once you hit 10 trillion, where is it going after that? That's the question.
Yeah, I mean, I just had a look. Total stock market valuation in US dollars is approximately like 108 trillion. I don't see crypto being anywhere near as like prolific as that. I think it will take, I don't know, like institutions, which I guess we'll get into, like jumping all the way into crypto and ignoring share price for their regular like stocks and shares portfolios or even their government bond, like all of their different types of investment. They'd have to literally take money out of there and pour it into crypto. Because yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if this would be the last big bull market. I think yeah, I don't know. I think there's definitely still room for a crazy bull market because if there's a crazy recession, which we're basically going through right now, there'll be another crazy bull market, and this is probably not the last recession. Recessions typically happen like every 10 years. So we're gonna go through. We're gonna see another recession, and at the end of that, uh, regular financial instruments are gonna go up over time, and eventually crypto will follow, or even maybe in the next one, crypto will follow. Before crypto will lead the trend. But like, yeah, I don't know if it'll be the last big one.
You know what? Yeah. I got one follow up point on that one. There's a saying by Benjamin Cohen. He goes, "Cryptocurrency is the measure of liquidity in the world, like in the world reserve. So if there's a lot of liquidity in the financial system, then you see crypto do well. But there's no liquidity. Like right now, for example, we're in a bear market, there is not that much liquidity. The cost of loans are skyrocketed. Interest rates going up every other day or every other month. So you can say liquidity has gone down, and I just don't see liquidity going consistently up like this in a linear fashion. So I just feel like there will come a point where we will be hard capped at like 10 trillion or something or 5 trillion, and then we have to go back to the board and innovate because there is still a lot of inconsistency in the development and blockchain. There's a lot of like the adoption level hasn't gone to where it needs to be for it to be 50 trillion or even close to the stock market cap. So yeah, there's a lot of things that needs to be ticked up before you can start going up north towards that 10 plus trillion. But these are all speculation. So
Yeah, you make some good points there for sure. And someone mentioned institutions, and we'll definitely come onto that later on. But I think something that will affect institutions and how much they're willing to get involved is obviously based on the regulations. one of the things that institutions want to know is, what's regulated, what's unregulated, and just having a clearer path to all of that sort of thing. So, from both of you, I want to understand what's your feeling towards regulation. Obviously, regulation's a hard thing to pin down because crypto is a worldwide thing, and it depends on what jurisdiction we're talking about. But yeah, I'll pass it on to you, Deji.
For me, the my opinion about this is that I feel like the crypto regulation is all over the place, and then I'm quite annoyed by it because one, we have the win by XRP against the SEC in the court, where they say essentially one that crypto is in fact not a security, it's actually a token. So that was good. And then fast forward weeks later, Binance is also engaged in a legal battle with them. Now Coinbase, now they're going after Coinbase. They basically told Coinbase de facto that basically BTC is the only asset that they have on there, like the rest are security, which does not make any sense. If XRP won and then they say that their token is not a security, why are you now saying all altcoins on the Coinbase platform is a security? Like I just feel like the government don't know what to do. They're trying to regulate it as fast as they can because they see it growing out of control. Well, not out of control, but they're growing at the pace it should be growing because obviously people, a lot of crypto people are innovating, and I think that's amazing. But at the end of the day, I just feel like until we get this crypto regulation like right, there will always be that slow sense of development in the crypto space because without having that regulation in place, people are scared to launch crypto projects. The people don't even do ICO no more. They just do airdrop now and then just go, go, just go trading. Let's pay the exchange fees and just go start trading. So it's really baffling, and then I'm quite pissed because I feel like this is the government trying to normally suppress this asset class because they don't want it to grow too fast. Because no, we're currently on that paperless era, and then the more we move out of that paperless era to become more digital currency, obviously cryptocurrency will flourish, and I don't think they're quite prepared for that yet, which is why they are all over the place, especially the SEC. They are extremely all over the place.
You know what?
I got a mad flip to that.
Go
on, Harry. Because that point is completely left.
Well, I was gonna like throw some conspiracy theory type thing, but I want to hear what you got to say, Rick.
So, all right. I guess like baseline, we need regulation in the crypto space, like 100%. And I think that regulation should be based on jurisdiction. Like what is a country willing or happy to let, not happy, I guess. What is a country willing to allow to happen to people that have coins that live in their country, in their jurisdiction? Because if we didn't have regulation, which we don't, there's quite a lot of regulation that's not out there right now, especially there's no like global regulation, which I'm on the fence about. You get things like FTX, you get things like OneCoin, you get things like Luna, you get things like Tether not being pegged properly. Like you get things like having to knock on, what is it, Bitfinex? Yeah, having to knock on Bitfinex's door and say, hey, you run USDT, right? Yeah. Can you verify that each dollar is backed with like a real dollar in an account? Like all of these things should be down to a regulator to validate, because there is like very little safety rules with crypto, and I feel like that's the reason why the market cap is now at like 1 trillion instead of that its full potential, because there's a lot of companies, there's a lot of industrial money, there's a lot of like city councils or cities in the world that would like to put money in as an investment vehicle. But like we could wake up tomorrow, and we know this because we've been through market cycles, we could wake up tomorrow and instead of being 29k, Bitcoin could be $3,000, and that would like completely wipe out cities, countries, financial economies, like the whole lot. And so yeah, we need some level of regulation. I hear what you're saying, they've been slow to do it, but it's pretty complicated and it changes all the time. Like before 2020, like staking wasn't even a proper thing, and then it became a thing, and then it's just like it's no longer a thing. Like staking is you're actually now, this is actually a security if you stake it, or whatever weird regulation they pass. So I don't know, and I guess coming from like working for like a crypto exchange, Like, I don't know, everyone kind of feels like what you're doing is kind of like taboo because there's no regulation around it. It's like you're going to somebody saying, hey, this is what we do as a business. We're investing in crypto. We're allowing people to buy crypto, blah, blah, blah. Like, because of regulation, because of the stigmatism around it, most institutions are like, all right, we'll see you later. Like, this is not something that we're willing to do. So I don't know. It's like it's stifling the growth, but it's also allowing it to grow. But yeah, I think it should just be down to the different jurisdictions what they want to do with crypto. But I think there should be some. Every country should have some regulation around crypto, and I don't know. It should be like it should be properly thought out because right now it's just an afterthought.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm not I'm not a fan of regulation, but I understand that we're at a stage now, and especially given events that have happened, which have essentially meant that regulation will happen. The question is, what type of regulation and how? So I think for a lot of regulation, what we've seen is trying to fit like uh, pre-made regulation for other instruments such as like stocks and other existing things, and trying to fit crypto around it, and it's not really fit for purpose. I'm specifically talking about America here. But what needs to happen is it needs to be well thought, as you said, Rick, and it needs to be purposely built. Otherwise, it's just gonna drive companies to other countries, and we've seen that already, where they'll be going to other jurisdictions because it's just a lot more straightforward to do business. I remember when New York, I think if you're a company in New York around, I don't know if it's still the case, but like in the early days of crypto, maybe around 13 or 14, they had some New York license that you had to get if you were operating out of New York, and it was you had to fill out all this bureaucracy, and it was so expensive. And if you're a startup, you barely have any cash anyway. The last thing you want to be doing is filling out bureaucracy and paying large sums of money for what. So I think it needs to be something that's attainable, something that's fair across the board. Because if that type of thing goes like nationwide, then yeah, it only spell bad news. And obviously, we know that US is one of the major players, if not the major player, when it comes to regulation. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when the 2024 elections come up. Who's pro crypto and who's so anti crypto. So yeah, I think
Well, I, I've got a follow up question for you guys. My thing is, why is it that there's a double standard thing going on with crypto, where like crypto is shunned down because what I mean, in the past it's been used for illegal activity, and then when you type in Sam Back Friedman, whatever that guy's name is, you hear is the madness it did with FTX. I just feel like a lot of banks have gone bankrupt this year. Off the top of my head, there's at least five, six banks have gone bankrupt. So a lot of people can mismanage funds. It's not just crypto companies or crypto startups can mismanage funds. So and then because of this, they are now coming and saying we're gonna bring in regulation, bring it hard. But my thing is there is a double standard thing going because you just said XRP is not security. Now you're telling Coinbase to delist it because everything on the platform apart from BTC is a security. It's a non-security. So it makes no sense what is going on with SEC. And I feel like they are purposely trying to stifle innovation in crypto. What do you guys have to say about that?
go on, Rick.
Facts. Facts. Yeah, the whole fractional reserve system is stupid, honestly. And the reason why FTX failed is the same reason why like Silicon Valley Bank failed, or any of these banks are failing this year. Like it's the same premise. Essentially, your user gives you $10, and you take $100 and you go and do whatever you want with it. You invest it, blah blah blah. Like there's a 1 to 10 ratio, which I find bizarre, like bizarre, like. And yeah, it's a joke. So yeah, I do think they're trying to stifle crypto growth. When you put it like that, it totally makes sense because I feel like it is a double standard, and traditional finance has their own rules. And now this new thing is like, yeah, we're trying to be extra hard on this. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
All right, let me put my conspiracy hat on for a second. Obviously, we talked about there being a we talked about there being a double standard and whatnot, and we all know that CBDCs are on the way. Obviously, for those who don't know, they're basically cryptos, but not really cryptos, created by governments, and they'll be like, think of it as digital money, which will be attached to potentially your identity and whatnot. So as these CBDCs are being talked about, I've seen Rishi Sunak, who the British Prime Minister, talk about it. Um, I've seen a few other governments sort of do experiments and whatnot as well. So these things are on our horizon. We know this. Now, it's obviously something they can control, and governments want control. They have no control of crypto, no matter how hard they try. Maybe tokens, perhaps, but in terms of Bitcoin, they have zero control over that. So, is it a stretch to say that, maybe they want to regulate it out of use and then kind of push their CBDCs to the front? Is that something that's plausible, or am I reaching?
I don't think you're reaching at all. I don't think you're reaching at all, Aris. I think that's exactly what they're trying to do. I mean, it just does not make any other sense that your theory makes perfect sense to me because, like I said, with the XRP case, it's so baffling. Yeah, you win in court, and then weeks later, you're telling another company that has the same token on their platform to delist it. Like they're clearly trying. They have an agenda they're trying to push, and whether that's CBDC, in the government coin or whatever it is that's called, if that's what they want to push, then I think that's what's going on here. I think it just doesn't make any sense for you to be suppressing crypto industry like this. It doesn't make any sense.
No, I think a decent play though would be to build this government coin.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, if you're not a government body, you can't launch a government coin. So, and the thing is, the whole thing about government and cryptocurrency together does not make sense. It's like oxymoron, fam. It's like it doesn't make sense. Like, you know what I mean? Crypto is meant to be decentralized, and then you have a centralized government trying to create their own token whilst trying to block this decentralized one. Like, you tell me, Iris. It's your theory. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I completely agree. It's like, I mean, it just goes against, if we take it all the way back and you look at the white paper from Satoshi, it's like he wanted it to be like a peer-to-peer system and without a need for an intermediary, and the government is that intermediary. So if they're basing it on that and just saying, oh, we can do it, then it's a completely separate thing. But would I use it? No, definitely not. So whichever country decides not to launch, you'll see me there very, very soon.
I mean, what if it's like doing mad numbers?
Oh, you mean just as an investment?
Yeah. You see it going 2x, and you're like, everyone's talking about it on Twitter.
But it's gonna be a stable coin.
You're gonna buy some.
It's gonna be a stable.
It's gonna be a stable coin, Rick.
Yeah,
a stable coin.
So yeah. It's not even gonna work. But yeah, so we kind of spoke about Wall Street a little bit in terms of like institutions and whatnot. But how big of an influence is Wall Street and institutions in crypto? So, for example, we know that Michael Saylor is continuously buying Bitcoin, and he's one of the CEOs of a Fortune 500 company, and he's got loads of Bitcoin on his balance sheet, and he's obviously one of the leaders in terms of the corporate world who's interested in crypto. But we're yet to see like loads of like pension funds and things like that go in and buy crypto. Partially that might be to do with regulation, that might be to do with other things. But we know that this ETF has been sort of rejected, but there's been another ETF which has been proposed, which is an ETH ETF. So what do you guys think about that?
First off, I'm a huge fan of ETFs. Got some ETFs in my portfolio right now, my stock portfolio. So I'm pro ETF when it comes to ETF investment. But I think it will behoove SEC or whoever it is that's in charge of approving this application to at least, because last time I heard they submitted the ETF application. It was sent back because he had some inconsistency in the application, and then they obviously fixed this inconsistency, sent it back, and then the word is SEC said there's nothing wrong with that application, but for some reason they haven't approved it yet because of whatever agenda they're trying to push. So, I think in the next 6 months, with more and more ETF applications flooding in, you said like you just said that with the ETF, ETF coming in as well. I think one of those ETFs will get approved, either it's the the Ethereum one or the BTC one, and then we'll try to see some pension funds coming in, trickling in a little bit. I think that's the only thing stopping the more institutional gathering into the crypto space. So I think the quicker this ETF things get sorted out and settled, the more inflow of cash flow we'll see in the crypto space.
Let me ask you a follow-up question on that. Do you think that the approval of an ETF will spark the start of a new bull market?
I absolutely do. And I think we have pre-halving around the corner as well. I just think a lot of the narrative will start to line up for the next bull market. And then if you are trying to plan add to it, I just think you're just blind or you just don't care about crypto space or you already get well. And then whether it's crypto, whether it's bull or bear, doesn't really matter if your portfolio is still rich. So yeah, absolutely.
What do you think, Rick?
So
Yes.
there is a Bitcoin ETF, right? The Winklevoss twins filed a while back. Did that get approved?
The Winklevoss one, I think that got rejected. I think that was one of the first ones. But I think there's a ETF in Canada, but I don't
Yep.
think there's any in the US, as far as I'm aware.
Okay. I mean, in general, I think ETF.
Rick, you're muted.
You're muted. You're muted.
I reckon ETFs will increase the amount of institutional money that comes into the market. Do I think it will cause the next bull market though? I don't know.
I'm not. We're not talking about cause. I think what it will do is spark a new narrative because it's a positive, not a negative. What do you guys think?
I hear what you're saying, but the thing about bull markets, I don't know. Whenever I go back and I look through what caused the bull market, and what was the news or thing that triggered a bear market, whenever I look at the cause of a bull market, it's never like a this happened and then the market went crazy. Like when Bitcoin last halved, yeah, the market went up, but that wasn't the thing that triggered Bitcoin to go from like 20 to 60K. Like, so I don't know. I feel like it has to not just be this one thing. It has to be like a curated queue of things that happens that says that, like, I don't know, like if Bitcoin, so if this Ethereum ETF, like a few of them were to go through, so institutions have different instruments that they can buy to jump into the ETF, and then you hear something like China has allowed full use of cryptocurrency across all of the whatever, then I'd be like, here's all my money, let's do this, it's book time. I don't know, I think it's got to be like a set of this, then this, then this, and then it's like we're game. But that's just
Okay, cool. I completely agree with you, Rick, because the last previous bull market, when BTC went from 3K to 60K, did a 30x. That one, I remember it vividly how it happened. It was, we had that black event, that black box event, which was COVID, which literally caused a massive beam to all markets, and then follow that up 2-3 months later, we reached the bottom, and then you have big whales like what's his name, Elon Musk, putting millions into Bitcoin. I think it's actually not even billions into Bitcoin. Literally investing his own company money into BTC, and I think that kind of triggered. Oh wait, we're an institution. We don't want to get left behind. Even companies that are not doing, companies that are half a market cap as Tesla, they literally thought it doesn't hurt to put Ethereum, it doesn't hurt to put BTC on our balance sheet, and that's literally what happened. And then people couldn't, we couldn't keep a blind eye to it no more, and then people just rode away. So I think moving forward, in this next bull market, it could be a situation where like a lot of ETFs get like approved, and then you have that pre-halving bottom coming in, and then there's nowhere but up because the bottom is in. So yeah, I mean that would definitely be the narrative you see coming in the next 6 months.
Yeah, I think crypto for the past few cycles has been very narrative driven. So yeah, I think we all have to keep an eye out for what narratives can take it forward. Like, for example, we've had the DeFi narratives, we've had the NFT narratives, the metaverse narratives, the AI narratives. What is the narrative that's going to carry us forward, and it's going to be big enough to catapult us post halving into that bull market. And I think
Is it a world coin?
WorldCoin. Well, we're gonna. That's good that you brought out, because that is definitely the next thing that I wanted to discuss. So, have you guys both heard of WorldCoin? Yeah.
So let me
Yep.
overview from what I understand. ChatGPT's owner created WorldCoin.
Yeah. So Sam Altman,
Yep.
the founder and creator of ChatGPT.
His name is Sam. It's already not going well.
What's it again? Say it again. Say it again, Rick. What did you say?
Sam, it's already not going well.
It's already a no. His name's Sam. But yes, he's the founder of OpenAI, and he's also the founder of WorldCoin. And for those who don't know, WorldCoin is a cryptocurrency that takes your data. In terms of, I think you have to give it a retina scan, and
Yes,
Yep. Using some sort of like orb or something. You use an orb to
yeah.
take a eye biometric, and then you're given a set of tokens as compensation.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw one of these things in Barcelona. I think they had like a station there, and I was like, would I scan my eye for crypto? And I said, nah, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
You know,
Wait. No, Aaron, the question is, would you scan your eye for 50 world coins? That's the question.
But what's the price of
50
WorldCoin?
world
right now?
coins, $100. Right now it's two something. Let me double check.
What?
World coin.
$2.
we're talking like $100.
Yeah, no. So one
$100.
one world coin is $2.16.
Right, now that's not working.
No.
But here's the thing. You say you wouldn't scan your eye for some WorldCoin, but bro, Apple's got your fingerprint, they've got your face, they've got your voice, they've got, bro, they probably know more about you than you know about yourself. So what's the
Yeah,
difference?
cool.
I hear that.
No, cool. But that's a product. That's a product that I want to use. I willingly give them our face recognition. I willingly give them our fingerprint and it's got the biometrics. But for you, I feel like I come from a biomedical science background, right? So when you take a scan of an eye, you have more information about more than your fingerprint. You have so much information about that person's biometrics than facial or by eye. So I feel like all you need is a retina scan. They have everything about you. They don't need anything else. That's all they need. Yeah. I will not do it because I just don't trust if they can keep my information safe. I know the WorldCoin is currently launched on Optimism, which is a layer 2, the zero and knowledge proof platform. But I haven't done too much research into Optimism because I don't own any Optimism coins, so I don't need to know anything about them. But I will after this meeting. But I'm not impressed because it's Sam who's behind OpenAI, which by the way I'm a huge fan of this product, which is ChatGPT. But this crypto thing, I think, is a gimmick. I think he's looking for his next, I don't know, product to brag about because ChatGPT's done really well, and I think he can probably recreate that magic. But this doesn't. I know a lot of people are going to obviously follow it and obviously give that biometric away because they don't really care about this kind of thing. But not me.
So here's a follow-up question, like a slight caveat.
Great.
Do you not see digital identity going on the blockchain as a feasible thing or like a logical next step for identity or for blockchain?
Yeah, I mean, they've been trying to solve this problem for a while, and I think obviously Sam probably feels like he can do a better job, which I still think he can probably do a better job. But the way he's doing it, I think is a little bit too intrusive. I don't believe in you offering me 50 world tokens for you to take my eye scans. I just don't think that is a fair trade off. I just don't. I don't think if you give it one BTC, I would take it. So
what's your price? Because everybody's got a price. You know that saying. Everybody's got a price. What's your price?
My price, 50 BTC, and then I might consider it. Give me 100 BTC, I might consider it. Get out of here, man.
Bro, if you give me one BTC, you can have it. What's he gonna do with it?
Thank you. You know he's going to sell it. You know these guys always resell your stuff to, I don't know, a medical company that needs your information to do like some sort of like, you know what I mean, drug trial or something. He's going to sell it. He's going to sell it.
Bro, in my mind, they can take it. Give me a BTC. Here's my eye. Here's my eye. Here's my fingerprint. See there? I don't know, man.
Rick is for sale, boy. And Sam's buying. Boy, I personally, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Yeah, the incentive's not there, and I just don't see. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I just don't see the value. I understand the premise of like the problem they're solving, and it's been something they've been trying to do for a while, like Deji was saying. But yeah, I don't think we've reached that stage yet. Like timing might be wrong because in every product that launches, timing is a consideration, and I don't think with everything that's going on with crypto right now that the timing's right for this product to launch. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
And dude, I just have so many questions. Literally, I can stay on this call asking hundreds of questions about Walcon. Like, how did they achieve this price token? What is it backed by? How was it launched? Like, there's just so many questions that there's no answer for right now. And I don't even think Sam, if Sam was on this call, he wouldn't be able to answer all of them. I wish it was on this call. We should reach out to him actually.
I'll drop him an
Yeah,
email.
we should do a deep dive on it then, because yeah, I think it's a very interesting. Like, I think ChatGPT triggered some crazy waves in the world, and so the guy obviously has knowledge of how to release products and how to execute.
He's a brilliant
Let's not
man,
forget,
bro.
he was the
Brilliant man.
CEO of Y Combinator.
What?
Do you know?
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes,
he was the
yes,
CEO of Y
yes.
Combinator, and then he
So, oh my
CEO
God.
of Y Combinator,
Even better.
founder of OpenAI.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's a big deal. So come on, there's shit CEOs out there that are achieving good things, and this guy doesn't sound like a shit CEO. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe we should deep dive into that white paper and talk about that.
Yeah,
because
that's a good idea.
we might be missing the trick here.
For sure. For sure.
That's a good point.
We'll definitely dive deeper into this for sure.
We'll take a look. Okay, so we're gonna look into the future now. I want you guys, because obviously right now we've just entered August, so there's only a few months left of the year. I want to hear some bold predictions by the end of 2023. What do you think about crypto and the crypto landscape in general? Maybe give us some price predictions or some narratives that you expect to see. Yeah.
NFA. This is not financial advice.
Of course. None of this is financial advice. We're the three guys talking.
So right now, like, you know how they talk about crypto in terms of seasons. Right now, we're not in winter, but I'd say we're currently in a down market. So we're probably in summer, like autumn. Like, it's not crypto summer. We're not outside getting peas of coins. I reckon by the end of the year, I don't know, man. News can swing things so much. But I'd be happy if by the end of the year, because the halving is what, next year around May, right? April, May, something like that. So more and more people or institutions will start thinking, oh yeah, we're going to start buying some Bitcoin. If they buy Bitcoin, the market's going to start going up. I don't know. I say maybe we end the year at about Bitcoin averaging over the point of like a week, averaging like $40K, which I'd be okay with before the crazy hype and the halving next year. And yeah, Christmas time is normally a time where, like in December, the market tends to do something crazy, positively or negatively. It always changes. But I reckon it'll be a positive end of year this year, from where we are now.
But what do you think would drive that narrative, Rick? Is it FOMO?
I'm saying halving. I'm saying let's see how these ETFs go. Yeah, speculation, heavy speculation right now.
Okay. I'll go next. Um, as you guys know, I'm a huge proponent of BTC. I do not believe in buying up altcoins in the bear market because you're only in for pain. And I think a lot of people are seeing that some altcoins are still fairly stable-ish, but it's just waiting for that trigger for that downside pressure to occur. So my prediction is we're in for a lot more pain for all kinds. I feel like before the end of the year, we will see some massive wipeouts of a minimum 40% in some of these altcoins because as as people start to obviously in preparation for the halving coming up next year, which is exactly 21st of June, 2024, um, what we will see is a lot of people getting out of their altcoin portfolio. I mean, like I said, that's why I have a small bit of altcoin. I know some people are still holding up their bags from IC or IE or whatever. They will probably dump to try and enter stables or enter BTC. And then as a result, we will see the BTC dominance rise even more. I think right now it's currently at 49% dominance. We will see that dominance go up to about 61%. And at that range, when dominance is that high, altcoins always takes a beating. Always takes a beating. So I'm seeing $5 right now. I can easily pick it up at 250. I'm certain of it. Um, like even some other ones that I'm looking at, like Aptos, that's also going to go down because there's no narrative for you to invest in the altcoins right now. I feel like what I usually do is big money trickle into BTC first, and then once BTC does that, gets halfway to doing this thing, say 40K plus, 50K plus, then whales take a bit of money from there and trickle it down into altcoin, start a narrative of altcoin season, which is my favorite time of the year. And then we'll ride that to the sunset.
Yeah, I think for me, I think we'll have a good rest of the year. And the reason for that is because I think we felt a lot of pain due to a lot of these interest rises, and they're starting to slow down a bit. I know in the UK it's still going forward, it's pretty high overall. But in the US, it started to slow down because obviously inflation is starting to come down. So I think that'll have a positive effect. And I think the stock market's already started to reflect that in terms of its earnings and also in terms of its gains. And I think we'll start to see the same thing in crypto. And sometimes they can be correlated. I'm not sure if that'll be the case, but I think for now, crypto will. I mean, we've been going sideways for a while, but I think towards the end of the year, I agree with Rick that that 40K mark seems to be quite reasonable. I'm not too sure on the specific narratives, but I think that's what I'll be looking out for.
I've got a follow up on that. That 40K prediction by end of the year is definitely like feasible. But I see a little bit, I see one more capitulation in the market. And what I mean by that is, I think recently we went as low as, sorry, let me just, can I share my screen with you?
Yeah, go for it.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
If you see, we obviously topped at 69K. We had about a 79% drop, which is more than enough for capitulation. But what I see here is I feel like we're gonna retest this level, not exactly 14K, but between 16 and 19K. I think we probably touch that. If we go as low as 20 to 22K and then we now start going up, that is obviously within reason. But I still feel there's one more capitulation left. There's still that pain of interest rate in UK. I know obviously inflation is still down in US, but things can change. I mean, Feds are very fickle. They can now increase it next month to 6%, and that might slow some things down. So if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, it is what it is. But I still feel there's one more capitulation coming in. Yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys.
Awesome.
Okay.
So what about your watch list? What coins are you watching that, you're not quite buying it, but you got your eye on it, just watching the levels and thinking this could potentially be something that you ape into later on?
Rick?
Well, my watch list has always been quite mad. This is the calmest my watch list has been since I started investing in crypto. Um, but yeah, I'll just go through 3 coins that are on my dashboard at all times. For various
Wait.
reasons.
Don't mention BTC. Don't mention BTC.
No. I'm gonna stay away from BTC and ETH because I am definitely watching BTC and ETH.
Yeah.
So one is CRO crypto.com. I'm always watching.
That's your baby. That's your baby.
Yeah, for sure.
Bring it up the chat, right?
Been in it since
Another
Monaco
one.
days.
Been on it since MCO did. Part of the ICO got the black card and everything and the T-shirt. I remember investing in that, like working, like the ICO opened at 12. I was at my desk.
I invested in that as well. I think I sold it straight away though.
Yeah, I held on to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So crypto.com, Quantum. So not Quantum, Quant. So QNT, which has done some crazy things. Like at the top of the last bull market, they were like $350. I think they dropped down to about $60 to $70, and now they're around $101. It looks like they have a strong team, strong technology, actually have a product. But there's a big little question mark for me around that, which is why I haven't bought quite a lot yet. And the other one, which is like it's like lost so much steam over the years, and I know it's one that we all liked and loved over the years, is Helium. Like I'm watching Helium.
Helium is dead to me, bro.
It's
Helium
finished.
is
Bro,
dead
it's finished.
to me.
I want Helium to come back.
What is helium at
Helium
right now? Have a look at the price of helium.
$2. $2.
Wow.
But I don't know if that's a real $2 because it's been delisted from Binance. It's been delisted, I think, from 2 other exchanges. So I don't know if that $2 is like
The trajectory.
It's on KuCoin right now. I think that's the only. I
Yeah,
think it's on KuCoin right now.
Is that the only exchange it's on?
The only exchange that we know and we care about that you actually use.
Wow.
other than some like decentralized DEX. Okay, so yeah, those are my 3 wild cards. There's other coins I'm looking at, but in terms of my watch list, yeah, I'd be happy to cross Helium off or cross Crypto.com off or Quant off, but I just still watch them. They're on my dashboard. Every time I open my computer and look at my laptop, they're there.
Yeah.
If something happens crazy, I'm in.
I've got a follow-up question to Rick. Absolutely love your watch list. My favorite coin out of your watch list is Quant. I have an eye on Quant as well, but I guess I'm going to pay more closer eye to it if you're looking at it too. Crypto.com, I think that's a no-brainer why you're into that. HNT, the reason why I'm not bullish on this one, because I still have my bag of HNT that mine is still mining, because my mine is still on. I don't know why I can't bring myself to turn it off, but I just feel like HNT. Funny enough, actually, there was actually a crypto confession on Solana that we didn't go through. I wish you kind of went through it today because it's about a guy that literally he's talking about how they launched a project on Solana. They were going to do a rug pull, and then they did better than they thought, and then they didn't do the rug pull, and they're still operating to today, which got me thinking
That
these guys
is
are not
crazy.
trustworthy. And for you to choose, I know, right? So for you to choose Solana is just not good. And then HNT, obviously, they had a lot of issues with their own native blockchain platform, and then they migrated to Solana. My thing is I know Solana is obviously mobile friendly, that kind of stuff, which I still don't see any like proof to back that up. I know they were trying to launch their own like smartphones and stuff. I just feel like it was not the best decision. Usually they kind of pull these kind of things to vote. I remember back in the days, guys, we voted on HNT specifications on some of the route that they want to take. But I feel like this time they just made this unilateral decision by themselves. They didn't consult with their fans or
No,
their
they did.
users.
They had a vote, but it was like a vote. But imagine a vote that goes on in Russia. It was a vote, but it's like you man are voting for this, and this is why you should vote for it.
Yeah,
That's not a vote, man. That's not a vote.
Yeah,
I mean, I just don't feel like the migration to Solana was a great thing, and I'm sure you guys have your own thoughts about that. So, yeah, I mean, HNT just yeah, I have a bad taste of ink in my mouth, and until I see their token appreciate to $60 plus, then I might get that weird taste in my mouth. But yeah, if you guys don't have anything to say on that one, I can move on to my watch list. My watch list that I look at every day when I look at my dashboard is number one is Dot. I'm a huge fan of their tech, the Paragon tech. I think as the Dot ecosystem continues to grow, first of all, we would never see Dot at $1 or cents. So let's just take that off the board. I think the lowest you could ever see Dot's probably like $2. I think last time Dot went down, the lowest it went to, just bring up the chart, that since inception is $2, and there's a strong support at $4.24. I mean, I've been buying every week, and then I'll continue buying and obviously staking it. I'm actually buying the Revolut, which is actually very nice. But yeah, I think Dart is one on my top watch list, and then the next one, huge fan of this one as well, is Atom. Atom last year, I had huge hopes on Atom. Atom was meant to do. I think last run it did. It did make an all-time high, which was $44. I'm a huge proponent of their multi-chain technology. I think as we are getting into the world of regulation, trying to get, you know what I mean, regulation standards into the crypto space, I think people building on developers building more and more on Cosmos will help bring that, because that cross-chain communication that they have, and I think it's really neat. And then I feel like the more developers they get to come on board into their smart contract platform, the better. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the big things they have going on. I know they've got some huge things loaded for this year and the next. So I'm looking forward to Atom doing. I mean, my prediction for Atom next run should be minimum $100. So at this range, we can see a 10x, inshallah. So we'll see. NFA. And last one, last one is a new one that just came out. It's called Aptos. Aptos is seeing a meteoric rise from, I think it started at three. Well, we opened at $10, went down to three, went to all-time high at 20. I think Aptos is another smart contract platform in layer one. As you can see, the trend here is I'm a huge fan of layer ones, so I think Aptos could do something special in the next one as well. But yeah, we'll see what they have in stock for us.
Yeah, that's a good list. What's interesting is your choice of Dot. So I was invested in Dot the last bull run, but Dot didn't really perform in the last bull run. And over the bear market,
What price did you buy? What price did you buy in Dot? You know what I'm asking?
I honestly can't remember. What price is it now?
Right now it's $5. Right now it's $4.98.
I think it was around a similar type of price, and I think maybe it went to like 10 or 15, and then it came back down, something like that. So it didn't really lose money, but it didn't. It was just not keeping up pace with the rest of the portfolio. But I do like. Go on.
I see Dot went up to all-time high $55. So if you bought a $5, that's a 10x.
11x.
So yeah, like
I-
Dot did pretty well. I mean, it wasn't
May-
amazing, but
Yeah, maybe I got the numbers mixed up, but I remember when I bought it, it was. I think maybe I sold it before it went on its huge rise or something.
some of these coins you have to hold, and they'll go. The trick is not holding too long that it burns your hand. So
Yeah, that's true. Timing, exactly. But what I was gonna say is that with Dot, obviously, it's a layer zero, so the whole thing is about interoperability, and that was what was kind of selling to me. And obviously, the team, part of used to be part of the Ethereum team and whatnot. So I was really like, okay, this is something that I can really get behind. And then obviously you have Cosmos, which comes onto my watch list, and that was something that I was hearing a lot of people in the groups I'm in were talking about a lot. Talk about Cosmos. And I was like, you know what? Let me start looking at it, and because obviously I know the parachains on Dot are quite expensive. So that can be quite a bit of a barrier to new projects that haven't got the funding. So
Good point.
and looking at Cosmos, you can see that a lot of developers are going there at a faster rate than they are to dot. So my thing has always been follow the devs, and then you find the money. If devs are building there, there's a gold mine, even if the price hasn't caught up yet. So Cosmos is one that I'm looking at, and I'll be loading up on for sure.
Yep.
I'm liking a few of the layer twos, so I'm looking at Arbitrum, Optimism, things like that. I'm just watching them for now.
OP.
Yeah, Optimism, and one that I was looking at is similar to type of Helium, is Hive Mapper, but it's so basically I mentioned it to you.
What's the token name, Harry?
Honey token.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So it's just for the people at home. It's mapping done by you. And so you have a device, a physical device that you buy for like a few $100s, and then you put it in your car, and then as you're driving around, it takes maps and it keeps those maps up to date. So obviously we have Google Maps, but those maps are done once every however many years. These maps are constantly updated by the routes that you take. So obviously they can get newer data, and they can obviously sell that data on. And so on a premise, it's similar to Helium, based on it's got the device, it's got the token, and then it's obviously crowdsourced the data that it's trying to acquire. But one thing that there's two things. Just give me a second, Deji. There's two things that are concerns for me there. One is the price. So the valuation is pretty high. I think it launched at like over $1 billion. I don't know what it is now, which is very, very high, overvalued in my opinion. The second thing is one of the reasons for Helium's failures so far, and I was pretty early on Helium, so I was a believer, and I told quite a lot of people about it. But one of the problems with Helium is that they didn't really manage to sell. They sold the devices, but they didn't really manage to sell the network. The biz dev was just terrible when you compare it to, say, Polygon, who was always doing deals with people and stuff like that. So, and I've tweeted the CEO personally. I've said, look, like I like what you guys are doing, but like, what's the BD saying? Like that for you guys to succeed, that's gonna have to be on point. He was like, yeah, that's true. So I'm just waiting and watching and seeing what happens there. But yeah, go on, Deji.
I'm love the list. ARB is definitely also on my watch list too. OP, I think as I said this morning, it's definitely gonna be on my watch list going forward, especially with the whole wildcard nonsense. But I mean, it's a layer two, so definitely worth keeping an eye on. This honey one is an interesting one. Drive to earn model of 4K street level imagery. I think that's pretty awesome. I've got several concerns. I think one of them you already mentioned, the market cap being overvalued at $1 billion market cap. I don't know how they justify that, but okay.
Much more now.
Probably need to dive deeper into the white paper to understand what they still think makes sense. But my thing is, it's also on Solana, and any project that launched on Solana, I just take a moment to pause and just try to, see the use case. Because you mentioned Helium, one of the reasons why they failed is because they didn't manage to sell their blockchain to the community, and where like Polygon is actually constantly making deals, constantly solving problems. I think it's because Polygon is actually, they have a use case. They're a scaling platform. Where like Helium, till this day, I don't know what Helium trying to achieve. I feel like they're just too. Like other than the mining, I don't understand what the next thing is. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you're just talking, you're mining it. You're gonna do IoT. How are you gonna achieve that? So, and nothing was ever clear. In this one again, I'm looking at it. I mean, just by launching on Solana, that's already a red flag. the market has already red flag. And I'm looking at the exchanges they're on. These exchanges are not good. Ocar, Radium, Jupiter. So if you want to see explosion in this investment, we would love to see you on a better exchange. We're talking about KuCoin, talking about Binance, we're talking about you know what I mean. If Coinbase is adopt you, you're gone. So yeah, I mean it's definitely a little bit early to the ban of this token, but yeah, just some interesting points on that one.
Yeah, on the exchange thing, I think exchanges can come, so I'm not too worried about exchanges. In fact, I even prefer when they're not on the big exchanges yet, because that's where the opportunity lies. Um, but in terms of yeah, also Solana is yeah, I used to be a very big proponent of it, but I'm seeing a lot of issues. But
Too many issues.
yeah, I'm seeing a lot of issues. A lot of people migrating away. But
Not scaling well enough, but just bare issues.
yeah, but yeah, let's go on to the last section. So the last section is hidden gems of
Yeah.
the week. This is a section I'm always excited about because I love finding hidden gems, stuff that can go 100x, 1000x. Those coins that no one really knows about. Obviously, this is definitely not financial advice.
Yeah,
if it isn't clear already. But one of the projects that I want to talk about is GameSwift. So GameSwift is a Web3 gaming platform, and I know them personally because they're working with one of the projects that I was working with my company. So they recently launched and they did an IDO. I think it was on Bybit, if I'm not mistaken, and I think they 5x'd already. Obviously in the bear market as well, which isn't too bad. So yeah, that's one of the hidden gems I'm looking at. Obviously, Web3 gaming, we already talked about. That can be a big narrative moving forward. It seems like they've got a pretty good team, and yeah, so it's something to keep an eye on. Maybe add to the watch list and see how they progress. But it's yeah, it's still early stages as well.
I'll go next. I think actually no, Rick, you go next because you need to drop off soon.
I didn't even have a watch list. I didn't even have one. I didn't even have a wild card like that. I haven't dug into like small market coins in a while. So yeah, go on.
Cool. Mine, I mean, it's not that small market cap, but it's still one that's still very investable, close to the ICO price, which was like 0.034. And that one is Casper, which is also a smart contract platform. Um, and I think
Which
it's done
Casper?
pretty well in
There's two Caspers.
Oh wow, there's two Caspers.
Yeah, is it the
CSPR. CSPR.
Oh, that one. Okay. There's another one which is pretty good as well. But okay, cool.
Yeah. So I mean, it's one of the first live proof of stake blockchain platforms. I think what some of the exchanges that's adopted already is only CoinList, which is where they did the ICO on Gate, BitHub, and KuCoin. I feel like there's room to grow. There's a lot of room to grow, and they've been obviously developing for a while now. I think in this next bull run, we might see it make a move, probably to 41 cents, 50 cents. He definitely can do a 10x from this point. So I think it's definitely one to keep an eye on. Yeah, definitely bullish on this one. Sure.
Sounds good. I think Rick, your screen is glitching, so that might be a perfect time to to head out.
Yeah.
To wrap up.
Yeah, so we'll end it there, and yeah, that
Alright.
was a great first episode, and we'll definitely see everyone on the next one. Stay tuned because more big things are coming. See you guys later on.